So I recently got this adjustable parallel set from Shars. I've had okay luck getting stuff from Shars before. Most of the time the stuff is kind of rough, but functional, and this is no different so far. I'm going to check out how accurate, how parallel the parallels are and stuff. You know it's good when the branding is a sticker put on it, because if you're not willing to put your name on it, so there's no branding on the actual parallels themselves, just on the case there's a sticker. So that's how you know they're going to take pride in their work. But are they functional? Are they good enough to use in a shop like mine, which is hobby/repair for, you know, machinery and that sort of stuff? I'm not doing really precise work. So I'm going to get my surface plate cleaned up, and I'm going to get this one deburred a little bit more. I've done a little bit of more deburring, and check it out, see if it stays parallel, and then I'll check out some of the other ones. So the parallels come wrapped in this brown oily paper, and they're oily. They've got kind of burrs all over the edges that I can feel, so I'm going to clean this one off, and also I'll show you when I take it apart, but there's this parting line, there's some grit and stuff, so I'm going to get this cleaned up, or actually I've got one already cleaned up here, which I'm going to show you, and I'll also take this one apart, see if it's the same. So I have this set up on my surface plate. This indicator is only good for thousandths for each division, which really you'd like a more accurate one than that, but this is the finest reading one that I have, so that's what I'm using. And also my surface plate, well, it says it needs to be calibrated in 88, and it's 21 right now, so that's what, 67 more years before I need to get this calibrated and checked, so I should be good to go on that. We'll see how this is for parallel. So that's good. Well, it's half off, half a thousandth off. It's a little low spot. Okay, so yeah, it's off 2 over its length. Let's see if it's the same once I adjust it. So that is reading 0 there. Well, let's look at the edge. So now I'm checking one of my solid parallels, and you can see that this reads the same the whole length. Reads 0. So my surface plate is most likely flat, and this is straight. The chances that they're both out in exactly the same amount are pretty slim. So let's go back to this adjustable parallel and see how it does. So when my adjustable parallels are in this setting, you can see that they are parallel. These are definitely built with the bare minimum of effort into making these work, because this here is just a flame cut edge, either a plasma or, I don't know, probably a plasma cutter. Cut that, and yeah, everything's all a little bit rough. And the sides look like they're just sanded and not ground, so probably side by thickness wise these are not the same. But anyways, I'm going to clean this up a little bit more and try a few different positions and see how it comes out. So I've got both halves stoned down. I use this ceramic sharpening stone. It's actually half of a double stuff sharpener that I got from Spyderco. I still have the other half, but the glue connecting them broke, so now I've got 2 individual stones. I don't know if they're the right thing to use, but it's a nice fine smooth stone, so I figured it should work fairly well. You know, not be too aggressive. So let's slide these back together again. So they're still a little bit rough when they slide, but they're a lot better than they were before. And the edges here are also nice and smooth. Because I was thinking about it, if there's a little burr on this top or bottom, it's going to make it sit funny on the surface plate. So that's a little bit off. There's a little droop down on that corner. So this is one that I just freshly took apart. You can see in this groove here, there's stuff. I just picked up a bunch of stuff on my fingernail. And there's stuff on this mating face also. So if you swipe your finger along, it's got this ubiquitous black gritty stuff from, straight from China. So they obviously don't clean them up very well, so you got to clean them up before you start using them. You don't have to, but if you want them to work halfway decent. Now I've got the largest one deburred, cleaned, got all the grit out of it, and we'll see how flat that one is, or how parallel it is. Well, there's a dip there, go down about 1/1000. Well, if you go off the edge, it goes way down. Yeah, so not bad. It's less than a half through the whole thing. Let me extend it. I'll shorten it first and then I'll extend it. So now we've got it quite a bit shorter. I'm not sure what the actual sliding limit is supposed to be. It does give a range on here. This one's supposed to measure oh yeah, so it's supposed to measure between 1 3/4 to 2 1/4. I'm not sure how wide that is now, but I'm leaving it about 1/3 on each side. That seems reasonable. And then now, measuring along, that's staying nice and steady. Let's extend it all the way the other way. So that's reading parallel there. Maybe, yeah, there's a slight movement. Oh, there's a lot if you run off the parallel. So that's maybe 1/4. So that's pretty good. I'm sure that there's people who need more accuracy than that out of their adjustable parallels. But for me, in my home shop, so was this a good purchase? For my shop, yes, I don't need anything super high precision. They measure fine with my most accurate measuring tools that I have. I'm sure there are people who need a much more precise set of adjustable parallels and they don't want to have to mess around with deburring them. They just want to be able to buy them, hand them to somebody, and have them work without any tinkering, cleaning, or whatever else. And that is definitely not this set of parallels. But if you're looking for a home set, a small shop like mine where I just do a few jobs here and there for neighbors, but it's mostly a hobby for my own stuff, then this is a perfectly acceptable set for the stuff I'm doing. So would I like a nicer set of adjustable parallels? Well, of course, but I also like the price on these. I forget what they were, but it was something like 35, 40 bucks for this whole set. I'll put a note in the video if I'm really wrong on that. So another thing to add to the toolbox, these adjustable parallels made by Shars. They're definitely nothing amazing, but for the price, they work just fine.